Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. Today we're playing Blue-White Familiars. We're going to be bringing this into the league hoping to fight the Red Menace. So we have changed the main deck to be playing 2 additional Prismatic Strands in the main, which will give us good outs to the mono red decks, as well as 1 Dawnbringer Cleric. So we've got 4 Faithfuls, 1 Dawnbringer Cleric to stall and gain life, 2 Prismatic Strands to stop them from getting their alpha attacks in. And then I'm going to be cutting 1 Deep Analysis and 1 Modern Age to fit the 2 Prismatic Strands, as well as 1 additional island in the main deck. I think this will help us because having 20 lands allows us to keep better openers and not be as risky as like trying to get lands. Now we're playing just 3 Modern Age and 2 Deep Analysis, which is a little bit lower on draw spells, but I do have the 3 Lorien Revealed to help punch through, as well as Muldrifter, Ephemerate, and stuff like that. Then we're playing 3 counter spells in the main deck. The main other deck that's being played that's not mono red is Green Black Gardens, and we really need counterspell for the initiative. So that's why I'm playing this. In the sideboard, ordered by white spells and blue spells. We've got 6 Hydroblasts. With the 2 Prismatic Strands in the main deck, hopefully 6 Hydroblasts will be fine. 1 counterspell, and then 2 Remove Souls. Once again, Remove Soul is basically another way to counter initiative, Crypt Rats, or Thorn of the Black Rose. It's also maybe useful against terror decks, but I'm not really sure about it. Then I've got 3 Nature's Chance, which is useful against glitters, 2 Circle of Protection, which is useful against terror, and then 1 Generous Gift. So Generous Gift is destroy target permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 elephant creature token. So you can blow up someone's permanent, then snap the elephant, and then do it again, assuming you have extra mana. So we can turn our mana into destroy your permanents. So it's kind of like a really, really slow Dinrova horror for blue-white. This also takes the place of a 4th Nature's Chant. So we have really 4 ways to blow up a creature that has a glitters on it, even though this is pretty slow as 3 mana, whereas this is just 1 mana if you have a familiar in play. All right, that is the deck. If you are interested in playing Blue-White Familiars, check out my channel. The top post or the pinned post on my YouTube is the How to Play Familiars. We've also got the Patreon with different sideboard guides, so you can check those out. Also, on the Patreon, there's a coaching option that you can sign up for. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the matches. We're here in match 1 versus Luis 0-11. Opa. Maybe they're from Brazil. I think they're from Brazil. Good luck, friendo. Let's do it. I know what PRA is. Okay, so we have Glacial Floodplain. So we have Counterspell available. This is a pretty decent hand. We have a slow tap land on turn 1, but after that we're doing stuff. Blue-White Glitters. Floodplain pass. Could also be Jeskai Ephemerate. Our opponent untaps and plays Ancient Den, indicating this is Blue-White Glitters. So we have to be cognizant of not dying to counterspell on our snap. Opponent plays a Frogmite. I can snap the Frogmite immediately and then Modern Age pitch Deep Analysis. Then they have to replay the Frogmite. Let's do it. Bounce this. Untap my lands. Go ahead and Modern Age pitching Deep Analysis. We drew another land, which is good. So we can work our way back to being able to Archaeomancer. On this next turn, we can preordain. They have a Frogmite. Do you have the glitters? They have a Thoughtcast. And a Gingerbrute. So we are going to draw and discard after getting hit for 1. Draw. I'm going to discard the Flicker. That's doing very little here. Let's Island and preordain. Another Snap and a land. Let's top both and pass the turn. So then we can have Snap plus Protection. After we draw the land, we can also play the Ash Barrens. Springleaf Drum for the opponent. Mirror Enforcer. I think I'm going to counterspell. They're going to let that go. 3 mana for an of 1 Mind. So we can Archaeomancer back the Flicker. And then we're protected 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got a blocker for the Frogmite. Let's play Archaeomancer for... Do we want the Snap or the Counterspell? If I take the flicker, then I can flicker my own creatures, but it's not that useful. It's just like block and flicker. So let's get the counterspell. Pass the turn. On the next turn, I can cycle the Ash Barrens for a land and Deep Analysis. Or just play the land and pass. When it's got 3 mana of 1 mind again. I'm looking for Familiar and Faithfuls. They're making the Gingerbread unblockable and getting in for 1. Okay. 1 damage. I think I'm going to cycle this land, play it, and then Deep Analysis. So we've got 5 mana in play. Found an Ephemerate, so we should be able to lock up the game. It can definitely get sketchy though. 5 mana. Plays another full price of 1 mind. They just can't draw a human apparently. 6 cards in hand. Plays a Springleaf Drum, so they have 4 mana available if they tap both their creatures. Gives a Gingerbread haste. They're going to attack. Alright. So we'll just go ahead and untap. So I find an Ash Barrens. I can cycle that for an island. Play the Chancery. Picking up the island. And then let's just pass the turn. Opponent plays a land. Makes their Gingerbread unblockable. Okay. Yep. So Gingerbread is unblockable. We'll go ahead and Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Trying to get back Snap. Could also get back the Preordain. Looks like they're going to go for a counter, which I will just pay for the counter. Pay for the counter. So they could have a second counter here. Not unexpected. So we're not going to pay for this one. But it caused them to be, this is a 2-for-1 now. Got the 2 Metallic Rebukes out of their hand. So I can snap the Archaeomancer and replay it for the Ephemerate. But then I can't... I'm just going to pass. Next turn I can Deep Analysis and have double protection. So I can counterspell plus snap a glittered creature. Plays a Gingerbread. Okay, that's not great. They're going to activate the Gingerbread a couple of times. So we're taking 2 a turn, meaning we have to find a Faithful really fast. Okay. Little Gingerbreads are killing me. Okay, we're going to Archaeomancer. Get back the Ephemerate. Then I can pass. Okay, they make the Gingerbread unblockable. And again. So I'm going to Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. If they would have to have... So let's get back Ghostly Flicker. Go ahead and snap a Gingerbread. Blacksmith Skill. Okay, that's bad. Cycle for an island. So that's giving them 4 power right now. That definitely changes the clock, which isn't great. But I can, like, Ephemerate and then counterspell on the way down their creature to make sure that they can't get it back and have no more unblockable creatures. Where is my Faithful? Draw. Let's Preordain. Counterspell again. Strands doesn't do anything. Take the counterspell. Let's pass the turn. We're just hanging. Hopefully they do glitters their creature. Okay, they're gonna make it unblockable. And again. So here we're going to go for Ephemerate. Trying to get back the snap. Go ahead and snap a creature. And that resolved. Let's flicker. Get back the snap. So we've got to point it at the snap and the flicker. We have double counterspell right now. Snap this one. Untap. And then second main phase, they don't play anything. So that was a mistake on their part. They must have F6'd and they scoop it up to the apparent accidental shape scoop. We're going to bring in all of the blow stuff up cards. Get rid of all my counter spells. That's pretty much all I have. If I had lose focus, I would bring that in over the counter spell. But I don't have a lose focus, so this is the way it's going to be. Submit. All right, we're on the draw. This hand looks like it's going to be good, right? Because we have get the dual land Familiar, but the Familiar can't come down until turn 3. We're going to mulligan. And again, this is a lot better. Let's keep and put back one familiar and one plains. Maximum interaction. We have 2 land drops. Well, 3 land drops here. And then we're just looking for card draw spells. Opponent plays a Thraben Inspector. Play a land, pass the turn. Drawing the Nature's Chant's pretty good as well. They're going to get in for 1. See if they flip a ninja. Yep. Pretty good start. So after the ninja draws their first card, every other time that they attack and get in, they're only going to draw and discard. They're going to be looting, not drawing a card. So it's slightly better for us, but not great still. What are they going to do? They have 1 mana. Play a Thoughtcast. Relic. Okay. They are going to tap out. So unfortunately, I think we have to play Familiar, snap the Hacker, and then kill their Relic just to have the mana, but I don't know. Could also play Familiar, snap their thing. If we draw Drifter, then we can go Drifter, snap Drifter, plus Nature's Chant the Relic. I think people get a little bit greedy and over sideboard. Play Familiar. We could also snap the Thraben Inspector, because then that's either way is giving them a card. But I can block this thing. When they flip whatever else, let's just snap this, then blow up the Relic. So now they can eat the snap. Relic down, pass the turn. We have a blocker and no card draw. So I'm looking for any amount of card draw. Drifter would be my favorite at the moment. Looks like they're going to play a Thraben Inspector, so they will be able to re-ninja the next turn. At least it costs them mana, so there's a little bit of a tempo play. I don't know. Mirror Enforcer comes down, double Mirror Enforcer. Alright. I'm going to scoop, probably. Does not look very good for us. Just the multiple Mirror Enforcer draw is just too much for having mold to 5. Plays a Gingerbrute. Sure. Okay, so if we need to draw something big here, or it's basically over. Alright, let's go to the next one. We'll try again with the same cards. We just need to have a hand that does stuff. Having cut the Modern Age and Deep Analysis for lands did not go very well there. I mean, we opened a hand that was keepable, but I just felt like it was too slow, so I guess maybe it wasn't. On the play, it probably was keepable. Okay, no lander. Alright, so we'll keep this, get rid of the Ephemerate, and then go land Preordain. Our opponent also mulligans 6. Land and Preordain. Mancer and Gift. I think both of those are not going to be where I want to be right at the moment. Maybe the Mancer was fine. It's just like so many turns from now. Thraben Inspector. Let's play Chancery, pass the turn. Don't really want to cycle the Lorien Revealed because they could Relic me and then I'll lose my Lorien. Gingerbrute for the opponent. They get in for 2. Donk. So one thing I could do is like, alright, I found the Mancer anyway. I could like play this, snap the Gingerbrute and blow up their land. I don't think that's worth it though. Let's pass. If they don't make another land drop, maybe it's worth blowing it up. See, they made the land drops anyway. Would have really been a waste of time for me. Springleaf Drum, they have tons of mana. 3 cards in hand. Mirror Enforcer. 2 cards in hand. So I'm going to block the Thraben Inspector in case they ninja. I'm going to lead on, play this Ash Barrens, and then go ahead and Nature's Claim the Mirror Enforcer. Because if they Metallic Rebuke here, I can snap their Gingerbrute and pay for the Metallic Rebuke. They're just going to draw a card. Okay. Pass the turn. Sorry. Thoughtcast for the opponent. They play an Ancient Den. They're at 4 cards in hand after drawing and then drawing 2. Pretty good. 3 mana. Okay, that was not smart for them. Kenku, I do not care about. You're going to lose a land? Sure. Pass the turn. What? I mean, maybe they're fine with it if they're not attacking here. That kind of would mean that they have the blacksmith skill again. What's going on? Okay, they do have the blacksmith skill. Oh, they can't attack their creature because it just came into play, so they messed that up. Okay. They can't even tap it to make that unblockable. Okay, familiar. Let's play Chancery. I think they made a mini mistake here. Let's go ahead and snap your artifact land. Do you have... No, they don't have any blue mana, so I can't do anything about that. Untap, untap. We can play the Archaeomancer, or just slam Lorien Reveal to draw some cards. Let's draw cards. We'll go to 19 life. Okay, pass the turn. This is the moment where you like don't want to necessarily tap out, just because it makes it look like you have stuff. Okay, they're gonna get rid of a Preordain. Relic. Makes a Gingerbrute unblockable. Okay, we take 1, go to 18. Let's cycle this. Grabbing an island. Play the island. Play Archaeomancer. Archaeomancer can grab the Nature's Chant, or they can just crack the Relic. I'm gonna crack the Relic. So, I have nothing going on. If I cycle the Mole Drifter, I've already used 1 snap. I could draw a snap or a Preordain. They can't currently convoke a Metallic Rebuke. If I drew a snap here, it'd be best case scenario. Nothing. Okay. Pass. Okay, our opponent's going to make the Gingerbrute unblockable again. We're going to go back to 19. And they're just trying to draw glitters before I have any way of managing them. Alright. So we have to play around them having Metallic Rebukes. Grab an island. Okay, I have a Floodplain, so I think I'm just going to play this. Go ahead and slam a Mole Drifter. Go back to 20. No double Metallic Rebuke for the opponent. Let's pass the turn. I still haven't drawn really anything. Kind of flooding out. And we lost our good spells that were in the graveyard. Opponent plays a Snow-Covered Island. Springleaf Drum, 3 cards in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if they have a glitters here, it's a 9 or 10. I don't know what Tem Konsekiaki now. I think it means I'm about to concede. See you later, friend. Double Metallic Rebuke in hand. Alright. So I would have drawn the Modern Age next. At least that would have been able to dig for a little bit. Alright, on to the next. Round 2 versus G Monteiro. Monteiro? I don't know. Okay, unfortunately, we don't have a second land. We're gonna mulligan. Oh, man. What happened to my 20 lands make it easy? Oh, God. Okay, keep. Get rid of the barons and an island. Play the island, pass the turn. 6. And let's see what they're on. Great Furnace. Great Furnace, Swiftspear. So I will go ahead and grab a Plains. I'm just going to throw down my Familiar to make a blocker. They might bolt it. It's 3 damage that I get to not get hit by. It is bolted. And an Implement of Combustion. Alright, pass the turn. This is real bad for us. Synthesizer for the opponent. Into a second Synthesizer. Into Swiftspear. They've got the... Okay, that's fine. Concede! Whatever, we weren't getting anywhere. Alright, let's just go to the next game. Bring in all my stuff. And then cutting counterspells. And an Archaeomancer. And then Ephemerate. 1 Familiar. We have a lot of interaction, so hopefully we can accomplish something this time. Okay, we would like to play first. We have things to do. So we're going to go land, turn 2, Dawnbringer Cleric. And then we have hopefully a way to draw. We're just going to cycle this for a Plains right now. My turn. Play a cleric. Gain 2 life. And then the options are play the familiar or play the faithful. They're going to Kuldotha here. That's it. Okay. Faithful, island, and we'll pass the turn. We're playing blockers. They have a Reckless Impulse. Do you have a Goblin Tomb Raider coming down? Play the Tomb Raider. Okie dokie. So no attacks for our opponent. Looks like we're going to play the Faithful. Play the island. Pass the turn. Do I want to Hydroblast the Synthesizer? Let's go for it. Keep the artifact off the table. Maybe our opponent will want to Pyroblast this. We're at 24. They swing out. I'll block. I'm still going to keep my Faithfuls around. I have a Galvanic for that. It's dead. Ren's Resolve. Into more Ren's Resolves and a Furnace. We find a land so we can actually play out the Mulldrifter, which is sweet. Gain some life. I'm at 23. Next turn I can play another Mulldrifter or Familiar plus Preordain. Ren's Resolve. Double Epicure. Okay, Epicure comes down. Second Epicure. Alright. I think maybe I Preordain looking for Strands. If I find a land here, I'll just play the Mulldrifter. I'm at 23. There's a Strands. So I can Preordain into the Strands too. Preordain again. This feels good. You gonna Pyro it? Wow, Faithful plus Strands. Let's top and top. And pass the turn. Of course, our opponent could just play Flaring Pain post board. So that's something that could get us. Ren's Resolve. They find an Epicure and a Ren's Resolve. Okay. Yep. So they get to land the Epicure. Plays a Galvanic. We got the Strands. Strands on red. Second Galvanic. It's pretty annoying. Okay, let's pass the turn. I think I'm gonna Faithful plus Evoke a Drifter and get more draws this way. Potentially make a land drop. Okay, that's it. We got more Faithfuls though. Let's Preordain. I'm looking for a Chancery. More Strands is fine. Top that. Top the planes, and we play another Faithful. Hiya. Now it's working out according to plan. We just got the Strands. Strands lock, baby. This next turn we can play Familiar plus Mulldrifter. They use a blood token. I'm going to block, 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 and block. And I'm just going to Strands now. Okay. Yeah, they're trying to take out the Faithful. So let's Strands. Keep that Faithful around. They have second Bolt. Look at this guy. Amazing. Play the Familiar. Your turn. So the strategy is simply stay alive. And we're at 26, which is pretty high. They're going to discard. They discard a Mountain. Cracks and makes a Kuldotha Rebirth. Goes to combat. Nothing. Okay. We're going to play a Mulldrifter. Now I'm shields down on the Prismatic Strands unless I draw a Modern Age. They have a Red Blast. Let's counter their Red Blast. Okay, we get to land the Mulldrifter. They scoop it up. Ha! Let's do it again. Now that we know they're going to bring in Flaring Pain this time. Hopefully they don't get us with that. This hand is very slow. I'm going to mulligan. What am I doing here? Making land drops and hoping? I guess I'm keeping that. Go back to Mortuary Mire. Land Implement, so they probably have a Kuldotha, so I can lead on the island to stop the Kuldotha. Let's counterspell. And they have a Pyro. Okay. Land. Pass the turn. Synthesizer for the opponent. They find a Ren's Resolve. They have the land. They get to play the Ren's Resolve. Things are looking up for them. They get in for 3. We cycle for an island. And pass. Our turn and nothing to do. Pass the turn. I'm going to yield until blocks. They have a Tomb Raider. They can attack for 5. I can snap the Tomb Raider to be an anti-shock, or snap a Kuldotha. I'm just gonna pass. Snap is better if it's a ritual, obviously. So many things happening. Our opponent is just completely overwhelming us. That Hydroblast getting countered was absolutely brutal. There's nothing we can do here. I think I probably shouldn't have cut the extra Modern Ages. And it looks like trying to Modern Age into Strands is just not good enough. Yikes. Alright. On to the next. Okay. That was brutal. Obviously, Tomb Raider plus Swiftspear is pretty good. If you leave a comment and give your prediction on if and when Mono Red will be banned, that'd be interesting. We'll see you there. All right, on to round 3. Okay, this is a much better hand than our other hands, so I'm going to keep it. Round 3 versus black. So we're probably playing against Gardens, which makes me not very excited. Play land go. We have to try to find counterspells fast. We can discard the Deep Analysis to the Chancery and then play Faithful plus Deep Analysis, perhaps. We want to insulate ourselves against the possibility of an Edict. Although maybe the Snap is a better discard. We can discard the Snap. This next turn we can Faithful into Modern Age, discard the Strand. Aw, man. Main deck Duress. They take the Modern Age. My only real attacker, so it makes sense. Let's play the Floodplain. Let's get my Faithful onto the table. Pass the turn. Alright, let's see how quickly they go for the turn 5 Slam Avenging Hunter play. Cast down on your Faithful. Land. And jam a Deep Analysis. The Reckoners bargain their Wellspring, looking for their last land so they can get the Avenging Hunter into play. Just have a grand old time. Avenging Hunter, hiya! Okay. Familiar. Land. Play the Faithful. Snap the Avenging Hunter. Just get the Muldrifter in play. We can't counter it, but we need to make attackers. They could have like a Snuff Out for the Muldrifter. Crypt Rats would also do it. Okay. They forged my Muldrifter, so appreciate that. Pretty nice. Thank you. I defile the Muldrifter. I just really want to go into Trap, I guess. As the Avenging Hunter. We're going to lose some life. Okay. I'm looking for a counterspell. Preordain. Find a Familiar. Let's top these. We go Sunscape Familiar. Evoke this Muldrifter. And then I'm going to snap the Drifter. Snap. Untap, untap. Go ahead and play. I guess I can Faithful into Muldrifter. We have a Strands. That doesn't help us that much. The 22 cards, no counterspell. If they have a Crypt Rats at any time, it's basically GG. They're going to go after the Familiar here. It's weird. I don't understand their decision points. But, you know, they get to do what they want. Takes away the other Familiar. Gets in for 5. We go to 17. Do you have Rats? No? Okay. Going to attack you. Okay, we take the initiative. Now we can hold it for at least a turn. Okay, we need to hold up 3 mana so we can Strands for the island. Let's Deep Analysis from the graveyard. Looking for counterspells. Play Familiar. Play the Modern Age. Oops, I messed up already because I was meaning to hold the 3 mana and I completely forgot about it. Alright, discard the Prismatic Strands. We'll go ahead and play Chancery, picking up an island, and I'll pass the turn. I don't really want to use the Strands, so I'm going to attempt to double block the Hunter with my Faithfuls. Opponent plays a Tithing Blade. Okay. Let's get rid of a Faithful then. Dig it in. All right, so block and block. We're going to take out the familiar. All right. 5 mana. They're going to flip the Tithing Blade. They can have to exile their troll to do that. They deadly dispute the Tithing Blade. Okay. Plays a Lembas. You have a Lembas. I'm still trying to find a counterspell because I can go Arcane-Mancer, Snap plus counterspell. I'm going to forge up the Faithful so I can block. Hide an Arcane-Mancer off the top. Discard this land. Let's preordain. Still looking for a counterspell. None of these are counterspell. Bottom and bottom. That's not counterspell either. So we're going to play a Muldrifter. Okay, Muldrifter draws us 2 cards. We find a Dawnbringer Cleric. Does not do that much. Send. I guess the Dawnbringer Cleric can actually flash back the Strands, so I should do that. We're going to play Cleric. They are Fanatical offering their Lembas. Lembas goes away. I'm going to exile your Troll. Alright, your turn. There's a Crypt Rats. Okay. They're going to crack it for 3. Okay. Strands on green. Trap you. Go to 13. Still nothing. Let's deep analysis. Still nothing. It's really frustrating. That's okay though. Play a Muldrifter. And discard this. We finally find the counterspell. What's the likelihood that they don't have a removal spell here? Probably not very high. Apparently they didn't have it. Unreal. Any order. So as long as they don't have another Avenging Hunter in hand, fingers crossed. Of course they have it. Okay. Get a Crypt Rats. Alright. Oh man. That's not my favorite. Let's see. Put these in play. Get rid of this. Don't think Cleric's that good. Faithful is not very good. Potentially the Generous Gift is okay. Get rid of a Snap. And bring in another Chant over the Cleric. Okay, we're on the play. We have a Remove Soul, so I'm keeping. We're going to land and pass the turn. If they duress me, I'm going to cycle for my dual land. But I think I'm just going to pass. This gives me the opportunity to draw another land, but I don't, so I'll cycle for the dual and play it. Opponent plays Deadly Dispute, so they can have a Monarch on turn 3. They have to discard the hand size here. Discarding a land. Alright, I'll pass the turn. No Monarch. No land. Let's pass. Discarding a Snap. Snap is discarded. Okay, 5 mana for an Avenging Hunter gets countered. Let's preordain looking for a land. No lands again? Honestly, I think I'm getting extremely unlucky here, but I could be wrong. I mean, I put extra lands in the deck. They're going to have a second Avenging Hunter. I'm having a hard time here. Oh my god. Let's... Whew. Alright, round 4 versus out 0. We are on the play. And I think I have to mulligan this. What? You can pop this out? That's weird. Okay, let's keep. Put back the... I'm going to put back one of the Chanceries. Play Baron's Pass. Really wanted to just completely drop the league after that second game there. I was just really frustrated, so I had to take a long break. Come right back to it. Looks like we're up against CawGate, so that could be a good matchup for me. Pick up the Chancery and cycle for an island. Come on. There we go. So I think, okay, they're just going to play out a Hawk. This thing, I'm not sure if I want to go Familiar plus Preordain. It's problematic, but okay. We found a tap land, so I'll just play out the Familiar. Now what are you going to do, opponent? 2 mana, they're going to Modern Age. And they're discarding a Prismatic Strands. Gets to play a land. So now they could hawk and then put another hawk in their hand. I think I can just go for the Muldrifter here. Seems like a good play for turn 4. Draw 2 cards. We draw Faithful Deep Analysis. That's very good. So we can really stay out of line. Not stay out of line. We can stay out of reach of our opponent if we just draw a bunch of cards and gain a bunch of life with the Faithful. Opponent plays a Sacred Cat. They cannot attack. They don't have Counterspell open. So we'll go Faithful into Preordain. They could Spell Pierce me. Preordain's going to resolve. Find Archaeomancer, Ephemerate. Sure. Let's just Preordain again. Archaeomancer and Preordain. Okay, I'm just going to keep gaining life and playing cards. Preordain again. I like all these. And then we can Chancery back the island. We don't currently have the Counterspell mana up. Opponent's going to cycle a Suffocating Fumes here. So they get to draw a card, get rid of their black spell, which they don't need anymore. No gate yet. We don't have any sort of snap or anything. So if they start attacking with the Sacred Cat, it's going to be a little bit annoying because they're going to be able to gain a bunch of life and really slow us down from actually being able to win. Depending on if the opponent would scoop to like being locked out or whatever, of course. Let's just play out the Archaeomancer. And they might go for Counterspell. So in which case we can Counterspell back. And then pick up the Counterspell with the Archaeomancer. And Ephemerate the Muldrifter. So this goes back to hand. Alright, Ephemerate. Okay, your turn. Let's see if they have Guardian or any sort of way to make their cat gigantic with the Basilisk Gate. Preordain for the opponent. Still got Fumes. I wonder how many Fumes they have left. Plays a land, so not Basilisk Gate. They're paying mana. Looks like they're gonna... Okay, they play a Lorien Revealed. That's alright. We're pretty ahead on... No, they're ahead on cards. Because I thought we were ahead on cards. Okay, let's just Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Guess it's fine if we're not ahead on cards if we're ahead on having Ephemerate up. We have a Snap. Let's play Familiar. Go ahead and snap the cat. Untap these. And then we can Deep Analysis. And opponent scoops it up. Thank you. We're on the recovery path in this league. Alright, so I don't think I want the Strands. I am going to bring in the Generous Gift for Relic and their land. And then I think maybe just 2 Counterspell, 2 Remove Soul. Or 2 Counterspell and 1 Remove Soul is fine. But then what else do I want? The Nature's Chant as well. Let's submit. And then the Remove Soul is really for... Well, opponent could be on a bunch of Pyros, I guess. But the Remove Soul is for Guardian. Just being a 1-mana answer is a little bit better. Wow, weird hand. I don't think we can keep this. Let's mulligan. That's probably fine. They're slow as well. So we're just going to play a couple of lands that are tapped, unfortunately. If we draw an Ash Barrens or something, we could do something with it. We can cycle this island and grab the tap land. Floodplain. Here go. Basilisk Gate for the opponent. Squadron Hawk. So we got to watch out for that turn 4 Guardian. They get 3 Hawks, so are they going to discard a Hawk or a Strands? Discards a Citadel Gate. Alright, Floodplain, pass. We'll pass again. They play a tapped land on red, so they're representing that they have Pyroblast, meaning maybe we wanted to have some other way to deal with their stuff. Discarding the Hawk. Find a Snap. So I'm going to play Sunscape Familiar here. I don't have to snap, but if they play Guardian right now, then I can snap the Hawk and Counterspell. They're casting a Brainstorm, so they get a lot of value out of the Brainstorm with the Squadron Hawks. Probably looking for a land. They're going to Hawk in response. So I think I want to actually snap this hawk and counterspell their hawk to make their them brainstorm locked. Maybe that didn't matter that much. Okay, they play the CawGate. I'm going to go ahead and play Archaeomancer, grabbing the counterspell, and pass the turn. If they tap out, then on their end step I can ephemerate for snap. If they don't tap out, then I can ephemerate with counterspell backup. They grab the Vector Glider comes off. Squadron Hawk for the opponent. Maybe countering that one hawk wasn't that good, but I don't know. Okay, they've got another Basilisk Gate. Let's go ahead and... Alright. This maybe is not the greatest, but I'm going to Faithful into Preordain. Gaining me a life. If they counterspell here, I'd be sad. Let's bottom both of these. Looking for lands. No land. Okay, we'll pass the turn. Right now they can double gate, which is not great. Yikes. Lots of gates. There's a Guardian. Let's attempt to counterspell. They have a return with the Red Blast. Let's go Sunscape Familiar. Pass the turn, I guess. Actually, I passed the turn anyway. My bad. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Preordain for the opponent. They're going to Bajuka Bog. Yikes. Okay. They're going to gate up the Guardian. Let's snap and untap, and then go for the Ephemerate on snap again. We're pretty much dead because of the triple Basilisk Gate and the Guardian, so looks like they have an answer. Scoop it up. And then we need to just bring in the four counter spells. Seems like they're not on Pyros or relics. Get rid of Cleric. That's 60 and 15. Okay. So after having played this list, I think that just having 3 of the Modern Age 2 Deep Analysis has really bitten us in the butt. Not good enough. So I would not probably recommend that moving forward. We have to mulligan this one. Somehow we are planning on playing a deck with lots of lands and just not drawing any of them in the openers. And our opponent keeps 7. So we're looking at Floodplain. Go. Your turn. We did win the first game. Opponent plays a land, choosing red, so they have a Pyro, or they're getting ready to have Pyros. Let's go ahead and get our Familiar in play. CawGate cannot cast a Journey to Nowhere here. They're going Preordain and a blue-white land. Okay, so let's try to learn our lesson and not tap out for the Guardian. Preordain into Mancer and Chancery. I'm just going to take both of these. Picking up the island here. So our opponent plays a Journey to Nowhere. Okay, do I want to tap out? Yeah, I'm doing it. I know I said I wouldn't. This happens every time. But I'm trying to use my mana, and if I pass and they just let them do nothing, that would suck. They might have a tap land here anyway. They'd have to have an untapped land in order to cast the Guardian. They're going Brainstorm. So I removed Journey. Did I remove both of the Nature's Chance? Not Journey. I didn't remove Journey. I removed Dawnbringer. So I find a Mole Drifter. I can hardcast the Mole Drifter here. Let's just do that. They are very prepared to slam their Guardian. I find a Mortuary Mire and a Familiar. No Guardian from the opponent, just a Squadron Hawk. And they reveal 3 cards and Bajuka Bog me. Play a Sunscape Familiar. Land. Let's cast a Preordain. Nature's Chant. Okay, bottom this. Top the Nature's Chant. So on their end step, we can Nature's Chant the Journey to Nowhere, get back Nature's Chant. Pretty sweet. Cycles of Lorien revealed. We've got a land drop. Apparently nothing now, though. Just Nature's Chant this. They're going to Dispel. I will respond as well. See how many Red Blasts they have in hand. The counterspell might a spell. So let's Archaeomancer. Get back to Nature's Chant. They have another counterspell, but they are tapped out. So I will counterspell, and then get back to Nature's Chant. Then chant the Journey. Get back the counterspell this time. Play the Mortuary Mire. So I'll just attack. I think 1 damage is not that big of a deal, and if they have Basilisk Gate, I'm not blocking. That's where my head's at right now. They've got 2 counterspells and 1 dispel in the graveyard. At least 2 more counterspells. Probably at least 3 or 4 Pyros in their deck. I'm going to Dawnbringer Cleric and exile maybe Nature's Chant. Counterspell. Okay. 4 cards in hand. They play Sacred Cat. 3 of those cards. So they just got a Hawk. Did they brainstorm between? I think they just have Hawks. So let's step 1 attack. Then I'm going to go Ephemerate. Get back Nature's Chant. Then Nature's Chant the Journey. And then I get a Familiar. Let's snap the Muldrifter. Untap these. And then go ahead and play another Muldrifter. We've got some mana available. I believe they just have the Hawks. Cycle for an island. Play the island. Now I have a double counterspell open. I would counterspell a Relic here. I don't need to counterspell a Squadron Hawk. Doesn't particularly matter. I think they have 1 Hawk left. And I think I'm just going to use the Ephemerate on trying to draw cards. So I get to Ephemerate my Archaeomancer. Let's get rid of this. They have a Pyroblast. Last card is a Squadron Hawk, I think. Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. And they scooped it up. Counterlock. Alright, GG's. On to round 5. Let's try to pull out a 3-2. Round 5. Probably versus Burn or Gardens. Let's keep this. We don't have any card draw, which is a problem. We have Counterspell if it's Gardens, and Faithful if it's Burn. So that's pretty good. I'm going to play the island, and I'll just pass the turn. I'll do my yield until their end step thing. Let's see what they're up to. Forest. Interesting. Forest pass probably means walls. I think I can safely just play out the Familiar on turn 2. The other option is just to hold up Counterspell on turn 2. But I don't think I need to hold up Counterspell. And by playing the Familiar here, now I can go snap into Lorien Revealed. If it's just the 2-mana wall. And our opponent cycles a Generous End with the Familiar on the stack. Okay. Woodland Chasm. That's not great. So they're on some sort of Exhume nonsense. Sure. That doesn't really matter. Let's go Faithful. Snap this. Okay, untap here. And then I'm just going to draw some cards. If this is just an Exhume deck, that's great. If it is Ponza, I'll be very unhappy. Because sometimes Ponza is green-black, Ponza Exhume. But we found another land drop, so we can go land here. Is it Ponza? It is Ponza. What an... Bummertown. Bummertown population us. So let's cycle... Let's just play the Chancery. Okay, pick up this. We can Deep Analysis. Pass the turn. So if they go for a Thermokarst, I have... Oh, I have the Snap in the graveyard. Oh, no. Oh, no. Should have preordained as well. That's bad. Okay, they cycle the Generous End. Finding a forest. They're playing a tap land. Exhuming their Generous End. Okay. You got it. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and Modern Age. We have to hold the counterspell for land destruction and or an Avenging Hunter. So I'm going to discard this land and pass the turn. 5 damage a turn is not terrible. Plays Arbor Elf. Okay. I feel like I should maybe just cycle the Lorien Revealed for a dual land here. Okay, draw a card. So we get to draw and discard. All right, I can get the snap now. Let's discard the Preordain, Island. Now I have Archaeomancer into snap, and then I can also counterspell because I have Ephemerate for counterspell. They're going to crack their food. So we cycle, or I mean yield to this. Snap the Arbor Elf. Untap. And then I think I will Preordain here. We're getting back all of the life we lost from the one hit. Our opponent's going to now use the food, which really does not matter. I'm just trying to get more land drops, Mulldrifter, and Snap. So I can top both of these. Drifter, Snap, untap, no. Let's top and top. And go ahead and pass. Alright, our opponent's turn. They have 5/6 mana. They're going to attack. I'll just block. And then I'm going to Ephemerate. Grabbing the Snap. Okay, Snap is back in my hand. We're going to lose the 1 mana, but that's okay. I'm just focusing on not getting hit by Avenging Hunter or a Land Destruction spell. So Land Destruction spell, I'll go Snap, counter. They're going to play a Troll. Sure. Let's just go ahead and Island cycle. Grab my other dual land, or my island that taps for white. Come on. Okay, Ephemerate, it's going to resolve. Get back Ephemerate. Alright. Play out my dual land. Go ahead and snap this Troll. Untap these two. And then snap the Generous Ent. Untap these two. And now I can Deep Analysis. Now I have Ephemerate, counterspell Ephemerate. Let's Deep Analysis again. Prismatic Strands. Nice. Let's see. I think I'm going to... Am I worried about double land destruction? I don't think so. Let's just evoke the Mulldrifter. Try to get onto the table. I'm not too worried about their attackers because of my Faithfuls. Ephemerate the Mulldrifter. Draw some cards. Now we can just discard the Strands. No tax. Discard and discard. Right now they got 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. They're going to cast an Altasaur. And revealing Avenging Hunter. So I think I'm actually going to counterspell the Altasaur. Because this lets me have the initiative. And I know that it's something that's weird. But I kind of want the initiative this time. So I can Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Grabbing back the Ephemerate. Attack for the initiative. I've got double Strands in the graveyard. And my plan is to just Ephemerate the Mulldrifter here so that it's back on blocks. And then play the Modern Age, discarding the Chancery. Play the Island. Then I can figure out what to do from there. Maybe play the Familiar and Lorien Revealed. Also maybe play the Faithful. Get a bunch of life. That way I have blockers for the Avenging Hunter and then blockers for their later creatures. Okay, no blocks for the opponent. Obviously. We take the initiative and get an island. So in this matchup, having Remove Soul over Lose Focus is extraordinarily bad. Let's play Ephemerate here. Play Familiar. Cast another Mulldrifter. Draw. Go land. Then we'll Modern Age and discard the Chancery. Discard the Chancery, and then end step, we're going to discard one Faithful. I suppose they could get the initiative back by exhuming. They've already used 2 exhumes though. Opponent is going to Altasaur, revealing a Thermokarst. No. That's why I discarded the other Chancery, that's for sure. Can't exhume this turn. Okay, we're going to stack a bunch of creatures on it. And then flash back a Prismatic Strands. Flashing that back on green. They scoop it up. Alright. So I think we still want the Remove Souls and the Counterspell. Maybe the Generous Gift is okay. Strands, it did help us there, but I still think it's not that good. I'm going to get rid of 2 Faithfuls as well. and submit. All right, we have Preordain into Counterspell. I think I'm keeping this. Hopefully they have a slow draw again. Island, cycle Generous Ent. Getting a Woodland Chasm. So we're looking for... We're preordaining, looking for an island. Island and Counterspell. Top and top. Okay, they play the Woodland Chasm. Cycling a Troll. I think I'm going to play Land Pass. If they exhume here, I think it's okay. I think I'd probably just want to cycle the Lorien Revealed for a dual land. Okay, I'm going to cycle for a dual land. Pass the turn. I'm just trying to get so I can get my Familiar in play and get my mana advantage. They're going to draw a card off the Slanowar Visionary. Floodplain, pass the turn. They play a tap land. They cannot Thermokarst this turn. I mean, Avenging Hunter. Wild Growth for the opponent, so they have more mana. Utopia Sprawl, more mana. If I just Generous Gift their forest, they attack. Okay. I'm going to Sunscape Familiar. Let's pass the turn. Let's snap that. Snap my Familiar, I guess. Pass the turn. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. Unfortunately, we didn't draw land. We really needed land there. Going for Avenging Hunter, which gets countered. Let's see if they have an Exhume. No. Okay. Sunscape Familiar again. Pass the turn. Doomblade. Okay. Snap it again. Really weird. Cool art, though. They're tapping a bunch of mana. 5, 6, 7 mana. Getting out an Altasaur. Cascading into... Rolling the dice. Finding a cast down. Let's see if they cast down their own creature. That would be funny. Okay. They don't cast down their own creature. So I'm going to counter this. I have no board right now. I can't deal with that. Looking for a land. Now I'm going to Drifter Ephemerate. Let that resolve. Go ahead and Ephemerate here. Next turn I have Sunscape Familiar, and I can hold up Remove Soul. Another Ephemerate. Opponent has the Avenging Hunter. Bad news. But we can later on, we can go Familiar into Archaeomancer for Snap. They cast down the Muldrifter. Sad. Let's go Sunscape Familiar. Play Archaeomancer. Grabbing the Snap. I'll pass the turn. So likely they forge up one of their creatures. And then next turn I can snap, Archaeomancer, snap, attack, and then Ephemerate for Counterspell. They're scrying. They need a couple more blockers. So far they've played Cast Down, Doomblade, Cast Down, and Cast Down from Exile, which is at the bottom of their library now. But they shuffle, I think. Scry. 5 mana again? 6. Cast an Altasaur, revealing a Cast Down? Sad. Okay, they're going to get in for 5. Go Faithful. Cycle for an island. The island. Play the island. Archaeomancer. I still think I'm going to go for Snap here, because I can clear their board on their end step with Snap, Snap, Ephemerate, Snap. I can go Snap, Snap, Ephemerate, Snap, Remove Soul. They can stash here or goad my creature. And we haven't gotten into the Undercity whatsoever this game. Okay, they're making a treasure token. Going up to 2 cards in hand. They currently have 9 mana. They're going to attack for 11. I'm going to snap the Avenging Hunter. They Doomblade my creature. That's annoying. Okay. Well, at least we can get rid of that. We might not be able to do anything before they go into the throne, though. I bet they feel really smart because they got to have their Avenging Hunter again, but now they still don't. Ha 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 ha. No Avenging Hunter for you. Remove Soul. They're like, what is this art? Okay, Avenging Hunter is countered. Find a Flicker. It's pretty good. Let's go Archaeomancer. Let's grab the snap or the counterspell. Let's grab counterspell. All right. Opponent's going to take the initiative and go into Catacombs. So they have 3 creatures now. Kind of surprised they're attacking. Swing out. Okay. They're tapping a bunch of mana here. Generous Ent. Okay. Let's snap this. Untap, untap. Ephemerate. Go ahead and grab that snap. Snap this one. They can't cast that this turn. Untap, untap. Go for counterspell. They have they have the mana to cast their Llanowar Visionary. I could flicker for remove soul and then attack. I think I just don't do anything. Let's just flicker here. Get back flicker. Pass the turn. So we know that we're going to be taking some beats from this Avenging Altasaur. Sorry, I'm not speaking very clearly here. We ephemerate. Get back ephemerate. I'm a little bit nervous about the throne. Dawnbringer Cleric. Okay. Dawnbringer Cleric. Destroy. You gain 2 life, I guess. Ephemerate this. Get back counterspell. Okay, your turn. They go into the throne. Undercity. They have Avenging Hunter. They get to Avenging Hunter again. Alright. Going back into throne. Yep. Plays an Arbor Elf. Okay. They're going to attack for 6 again. So what we need to find is another Sunscape Familiar. We could ephemerate for Preordain. We can flicker here, which gets back the flicker, and then I'm just assuming they have nothing here. If they have something, I'll be just sad. I'll be sad. I think they have nothing. Get back to flicker. Flicker here. Get back to flicker. Now I'm going to gain some life. Right now they have 14 damage attacking. Okay, ephemerate, Archaeomancer. Get back ephemerate. Preordain. Can I find a familiar? Ash Baron's Deep Analysis. Gonna draw. This puts me at 11. Find a Muldrifter. Play out the land. Can ephemerate the Archaeomancer for the snap and snap the Annoyed Altasaur. And they can recast it, but I have a counterspell. Opponent takes the initiative. They're gonna scry. Probably looking for land destruction. They go top, top. Scary. Land for the opponent. So whatever they have in hand. Let's ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Get back snap. Go ahead and snap the Dino. And then untap. And we get to see what they put on top. They're attacking for 8, which is a very large amount. We go to 4. 3 mana. They are untapping their thing with the Arbor Elf. 6 mana. They have the 7 mana now. Cascade into Llanowar Visionary. Okay. So I'm going to flicker here and then counter the Annoyed Altasaur. What was the top card of their deck? Cast Down. So they didn't get the cast down. It's funny. So let's flicker. Grab the flicker back. Go ahead and counterspell. Counterspell the Annoyed Altasaur. Now we're at 6 life. Now this upcoming turn we can Drifter, Flicker, Drifter. Are they going to do anything? They're going to cast a big creature. Avenging Hunter again. Yikes. Okay. They have a treasure token. Next turn they're going to have a 4/1. We're both very low on clock. I'm going to evoke this Drifter. See what I draw. Lorien Revealed. So I can flicker the Drifter. Okay. Draw and get the flicker back. We found the familiar. Okay. Let's play out the Ash Barons then. Guess that doesn't really matter. Just for like speed purposes. Okay, let's Mortuary Mire and get back the Archaeomancer. Yes. Then we're going to go Sunscape Familiar, Flicker. This is infinite life. Right now they have 8, plus another 5. They don't have boarding parties in their deck, so they can't attack at instant speed or at with haste. So we're going to go up to like 20, and that'll be enough for the moment. Okay, we'll see on the other side. This is going to take a while. Right now we're at 1120. One interesting thing to note here is that after I finish snapping all their creatures on the next turn, I can actually snap my Dawnbringer Cleric a bunch of times because I'll be making excess white with the Azorius Chancery, and then I can replay it a few times to kill all their enchantments. Not sure if that'll really matter. Now I'm at 20 life. So that took about a minute. Let's just go to 21, I guess. In paper, you'd say, I have infinite life. Yay! And then you probably win. Alright, opponent's turn. What do you got? We want to make sure we don't cycle the Ash Barrens. I mean, they have 2 cards in hand. If they cast an initiative creature here, I probably have to flicker Island and Plains and go for Ephemerate for a Remove Soul. We're going to take the 13. Okay. Second main. That's 4 mana. Acid Moss on your land. I'm going to flicker the land. Get back flicker. They don't do anything. Okay, great. And we have no Ephemerates in Rebound. We're going to Archaeomancer. Go ahead and grab the snap. Do I even need to grab the snap? Think so. Play the Chancery. Pick up the Ash Barrens. Going to Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Snap again. Snap the Skeleton. So this is making extra blue here. We need to be able to counter both of their creatures. Let's just cycle this for an island. Then cycle this one for an island. Gonna go ahead and attack with the Muldrifter. Okay, they just scooped it up. But we had the lock. We ended up 3-2. I felt like we drew poorly versus the Gardens deck with the full-on 2 lands, nothing, where they had double initiative. And then versus Red, it got completely steamrolled in the post-side games. But hopefully this was an interesting experiment. I think that maybe the Strands in the main deck is not really where we want to be. So take that with a grain of salt. I do think you need 4 Modern Ages, and you can see that I've already edited my list. All right. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. We'll see you in the next video.